I'm worried about all this stock sitting here. If word's got out to the wrong people. Ah, bonjour. You've been away on some travels, yes? Good to see you. There. Shoot.
I ain't scared of anybody. I ain't got a thing on me. Tell me. I got a light on me. I'm chasing bigger lights. Alright, sorry, Jose. That's back. Break your face. How's it going? Nothing.
Morning, miss. Go on and make tracks. Huh? You have a fine morning, man.
Robbed me a fat one the other day.
Oh my. Oh, what the fuck, man? Wouldn't think of this sort of fun content like doing. I'm going to fucking areas like. Oh Christ, I'm cracking.
to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, Harriet. Just stay ready, Mr. Scissors.
All right, let's see what you've been doing. They tell me, you know? Oh, disgraceful. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Here, you can like crocodile now. That's the brown and then nice making lovely. It's fucking lovely. No competition. Oh, fuck, man. Right in the mind.
You there? You stopping? Are you lonely? Is there some deep truth missing in your life?
What was? Oh, not right after fucking alligators. God damn it.
I'm open for trade with you, but I will not forget or forgive your behavior. A trade? What do you propose? Poor thing. Hope it doesn't miss this. Every mammal I meet feels like looking in a mirror. A must, but be careful. These can be lethal to the smaller critters. Pretty easy to make. All right, that's fine. An impressive elk has been spotted that I think you should investigate. I have to tell you something. A coyote came into my camp last night, and what began as something of a standoff ended as something quite magical. An exchange of emotional gifts. It's truly amazing what we can achieve when we think outside ourselves. Anyway, more importantly, or maybe less importantly, a legendary white Iname elk has been spotted in the grizzlies north of Coulter. Could you go and see if you can track it down and gather a sample? Dress warmly, though. I don't want you freezing to death.
Please get out of my way, one. Oh shit, dark light below this comes out. Huh? Wait, trying to take samples here. Oh fuck you. Oh fuck you. Oh, dude, get back up, what? Hang on. Holy shit, where'd it go? Fuck it, come on. Yes. What? No, fuck off. Where is it? Oh. I think it's so pissed off. So this fucking thing's right away, huh? Try to fucking help it. Oh. Yo, what's up? Don't know if you can hear me, no, you can't, I guess. That doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. And then I go there. Nice. But yeah, if you've got any questions you need answers, let me know. If you come in from my server. Otherwise, if you just get a chill, then sweet.
If I hear that damn Clementine Again.
The price of tobacco just seems to keep dropping.
There's no one day to find things like this.
Good evening, sweetheart.
Full jump. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so left me alone, man. Hey guys, what's up? Oh, that was good. Oh well. Let's see what I can cause. Did they already start looking for me out there? Oh shit. Best coming. More dynamite. Ah, I do. What's up? I get it in the window. Ah, almost. armor next time. Dynamite first. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? I guess we'll go into town and get some havoc there. Why not? Yo, he's still alive. He's nice. Okay. Rampage tonight. Why the fuck not? An animal for 18 hours with like 17 people on the show. It made me miss my turn off. He's already dead. What was I looking for? There it is.
That gun should stay holstered around here, friend.
Oh, your fault, it's not mine. Cool, man. Cool. Don't follow me. Oh, fire, yeah. Fuck. Oh, way, bro. Oh, shit. Oh god. How does this money? I don't know how to do it. Oh, I don't know.
Ma'am?
I wonder why. Let's see, maybe that will be better. Okay, cool. Well, let's try. Yeah, good. Mm, okay, cool. Hopefully that is better. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that problem is fixed for like the rest of the time. Excuse me. The last person who talks to me like that died in a big ass rampage. Let's not. I'm careful of people I think are late. People smile. Theater, can I blow that up? You need bigger like bombs. Let's see. Where am you? Well, I'm shitty. Just in case. Let's see. He wants to come at me, right? Oh. Trick me once. Yeah, shut up. Oh. Why are you shouting at me, bro? No one asked for like your opinion. It's not really. Don't start. Ooh, a ladder. That's cool. I don't know this is it. Ooh, and there's a higher. That's cool. It's like a lucky package with like places. Oh, what? I had no idea you could get onto the roof here. That's so cool. Help me, like anyway. I guess not. I'm confused. Oh shit. That would probably hurt a little. Ninja Man! Ah, yes, I made it. Maybe like from like Assassin's Creed up here. No, fuck. Woo! Yo, jumps like a ninja. Ooh, still alive. Got this. Woo! You're lucky. That's all you mean. Oh, fuck it. This, fucking wanted like a mofo. Okay, I can get out of this. I can get out of this. I can get out of this. I can't get out of this. I can get out of this. I can get out of this. Oh, move. I got like a boar on my head and these people can't tell me apart. It's insane. Let's see. Oh, fucking more cops. Yo, ninja. I need your horse, bro. This is Grand Theft Auto. That's what I call a crossover. Woo! Way too many cops in this little ass, like, redneck town. But even my horse, I can't even, like, skid around the corners. Oh, fuck me. Let's go. Fuck. Ooh, yeah, do a little jumping. Oh, fuck. And, now the cop's horse is mine. Yeah. I'm out there. Yeah. Hard fail. It's cool, I got this. Yeah, oh fuck. I almost had this. Where's my horse? I need my horse, because these horses are like, hey. Shit. Okay, fuck it. Saddle. Let's go. Oh, it's my horse. Up, out of here. You know, I'm gonna catch me on this dick. Oh, fuck. Is that a shotgun? Dick. Ooh, not in order. Oh, fuck. Fuck. That was a hard fail moment. Almost made it out so eloquently, and now, oh, fuck, and I'm like stuck. I'm like an autistic cowboy. It's cool, I got this. We got this. Somehow, I'm gonna just hide under the bridge, actually. Okay, new plan. I don't shoot my horse, sticks. I'll make it out of here if I gotta run. Ooh, wrong weapon. Okay. Yeah. Come on, boy. Sweet. Way too long. Way too many falls. Way too much stress, but it's all good. Bad as hell though. Alrighty. Now that I've got my rampages out for the evening, let's go hunt some bears, because that's always entertaining. And that doesn't always make me shit my pants. Absolutely not. Oh. Oh. Stress breaks can just ruin this life. Calm my nerves down before the bears. Oh, shit. And yeah, look, guys, if there's anything like you want me to do, you know, happy to go do it. Whether it's going to get me violently killed or not, you know, it's all part of the fun. I guess normally, in my other channel, the Black Rabbit channel, there's a lot more of my hacking stuff. You know, I guess demonstration videos on botnets, rats, ransomware, all things of these sorts. Obviously, a lot of that is difficult to show on a stream because not all of it is particularly legal. Hence, me having to stream on this channel because the other one has a strike now, which is very disappointing and very sad. But like, whatever, you know. Someone who shits on the cookie. But yeah. So happy to, you know, take some requests, do some things, whatever. Let me know. Otherwise, happy to just keep roaming around. Let's go see if we can't be a rabbit for a moment or two. Okay, let me not run in here with my horse half cocked, because then my horse is gonna die. Oh, I just love this horse. I don't want it dead. It's always very sad. Especially when I get mauled by a bear and it gets mauled by a bear, and it's just like horrible way to spend a Sunday evening. It's Monday, isn't it? Fuck. Horrible way to spend a Monday evening. 2 deaths in a bear mauling. Lots of fun. Do I have? Oh, I have enough. It's gonna work this time. Please get that, let it work this time. I'm so tired of this fucking feeling. I wasted so much of this bitch's flour. Yeah, there we go. Got it. I don't know what is wrong with this, but like, maybe it's just a rabbit that's busted. But I don't think so. That's lame. I guess I'll try the next one. Oh, it's because I haven't done the butt. What you talking about? Don't lie. To experience swiftness and freedom of the butt. Elation beyond my dreams. And yet, I was just delusional and eating too much like raw rye and getting that old school LSD trip, man. she ate some bad mushrooms. I thought this chick was supposed to be all hippy dippy, and then she's like whacking out on this sketchy mushrooms. This one location, you're close to Splendor, 5 samples. Where is this wonderful face? I feel like in the background I can hear something roaming around, which means I'm probably gonna get like kicked in the face by a buck or mauled by a bear, but what else? Oh yeah, bear hunting, that's what I was doing. Let's find us a bear. Oh, that way. Into the bush like John Wick, like Rambo. That's the one. John Wick was a little more like Japanesey, quite more Yakuza. Ooh, yeah, I wanted like total chat. Ooh, fuck, that gave me a prize. Rented a base. What? You're supposed to put it down. Super chat to the rescue. Oh, no. The super chat move failed. I'm gonna get eaten by this bear now before I even get into a base high. That's lame. I didn't put it down, right? It's look. That's always a difficult thing to kind of say. Plague. I guess I'm slightly biased with it being sort of my remod and all. And I don't want to, say that I'm like some great super hacker man, because I am at the end of the day a pen tester, an ethical hacker. Um, I guess more of a grey hat than a white hat, which is why I do dabble in making things like that. It is fun. I can use it in ethical ways. Um, but yeah, it's a good program. I don't feel it's complicated, though people do struggle being beginners. Um, people, yeah, I guess people see things like this and see the videos of it, and they assume it's so super easy because a video is concluded in all of like 10 minutes, so it doesn't take super long setup to finish. But I guess there is a certain understanding you would know or need to have beforehand. I guess the different network types, internal, external, or public and private IP addresses, I should rather say. Um, someone tries to get like a rat and test it out on their home network, and obviously it's going to work. You're in your home network. But then they try it remotely, exactly the same as they would on a local network, and it doesn't work. This is obviously because you still have it configured to try and connect to your internal IP address, and it just doesn't work that way. And then when you're connecting like that externally, you need to have an understanding, I guess, of port forwarding and remote connections and how they work. But let me lift the curtain for you. Every botnet is basically exactly the same as the other one. Plus minus a couple features or functions here and there. Some some botnets are geared towards crypto mining, which I guess Plague is. Then some older crypto miners used to be Plasma botnets, the Plasma rat, as well as also a mining, I guess, focused rat. Um, where is this flowers? Sorry, I distracted. So the plasma set, the rat and the bot were both geared towards mining, whereas something I guess like Azeroth or Agent Tesla are password stealers. Which then their base function connect once, steal information, send it back to the attacker, and that's that. Whereas a bot stays connected for a long time, it executes commands from the attacker, and yeah, so you have some level of control. Um, the key differences, I guess, between bots and rats at the end of the day is, some only do password stealing, some are geared towards mining, some are geared towards full control, where you want to be able to do everything, have your remote desktop connections, the hidden VNC, so you have full control, basically like you were sitting in front of the computer, but even if the other person was there, they wouldn't be able to see that. Which, I mean, yeah, that is a great function, one that I think they're all starting to kind of develop in, because yeah, so I'd say give it 6 months and just about every botnet that is um, workable or still current enough to be something are basically going to have all those features. I'm putting in hidden VNC, the HVNC feature into Plague at the moment. Also a ransomware feature. That's going to be a little bit of time till those are complete. But I mean, yeah, I'm putting them in. I know most other people. So the differences, sorry, I keep getting on a tangent. I'm going to wait for a while. The differences, the way it's written, the language, the way that it's been able or that it's been programmed to execute its functions. Because what antiviruses do, they use something called heuristics, string heuristics, which is basically it'll put it through a little internal sandbox and it will read the lines of code that are coming through and the processes that it's being asked to execute. And certain processes, sure, they have legitimate functions, which is sometimes why you get the false positives where something looks suspicious, but it's not particularly malicious. If you put it through something like hybrid analysis, it'll say, okay, well, these strings or integer project, which is another really good virus analysis platform. So it'll basically read through the strings, tell you, okay, these 1,000 strings, these are completely fine, these aren't going to do anything bad. These 40 strings have the potential to do bad things, but they can also be used in a legitimate way, like TeamViewer. TeamViewer is a very legitimate process for remote desktop sharing and support, and that is used constantly in malicious ways by hackers to do all sorts of things. So it'll tell you, okay, these strings, they're suspicious, and then these, 15 strings, these are malicious. These are not used in any other context but a malicious way. And yeah, so the reason I feel Plague is really good is because of the way it was initially designed. It was designed in quite a clever way using Pascal, which is a very, it's an off-brand language. It's not C#, it's not C++, it's not Python, it's not your everyday languages. It is something different, which Windows have absolutely no problem running. So it also has no compatibility issues if you work from every single version of Windows from now up until, Windows 2070, whatever they're going to end up with in the next 7 years. But yeah, the way it's also written, it's modules. Yeah, so it does get through Windows Defender very easily. In the video, I'm sure you saw it. What I generally do is turn off antivirus because sometimes it's going to mess with the programs, especially if I'm demoing old things that have been cataloged for like a long ass time. Um, yeah, I completely forgot to turn it off in the video, and as soon as it was running and I checking the miner, I realized that I'm like, oh shit, Windows Defender's on, but everything's running perfectly. And that was the first time I ever realized that it got past Windows Defender without an issue. So I mean, that was a bit of a oh shit, that's a very cool moment. Um, and yeah, so a lot of other botnets, they that are modulated, so that modules are kind of kept in the panel until they need to be run, which also helps payload stay undetected, because then, yeah, it's not shipping the payload with all these features that would be used in a malicious way, so it generally can get through more, virus scanning softwares. But yeah, the way I made Plague or remodified it was to basically in the builder there's a custom crypto, which then all the bots, the modules, they are all kept in a .mod file, which is kind of a custom thing that was put into that for me. So when your builder builds your payload, it will pull the mod file from your panel, which is also why you need your login details basically to be set in the beginning. So you can pull the proper payload for the proper encryption, because for every build that I've made and played, I've tried to make encrypted custom for every build. So if one build gets caught in the wild, doing something that it probably shouldn't be, and they start to analyze those strings and put that into the software, then only that person's build is going to start getting flagged, because the other one's strings are completely different. Um, yeah, and basically its modules work the same and keeps the encryption script in the bot itself, and when it needs to pull a module, it starts to run the decryption. It does its thing, whatever, or it launches the miner, which was recoded customly into a .mod file, and then yeah, it runs everything silently through Windows Defender. Sadly, not everyone uses Windows Defender. McAfee, AVG, resets, Norton. But through Virus Total, it had 4 detections out of 73. So, I mean, I feel that's fucking really good in today's standards, where basically everything is 50 to 60 detections. It was, I think, ESET, um, Mod Komodo or something weird, ABG, funnily enough, and I can't remember the other one, but so yeah, basically 68 virus vendors don't detect it as anything. It doesn't detect the miner, it doesn't detect any part of it. And yeah, I try and keep it. That's also why it's not open source. Um, Firstly, I work really hard on that, and all the updates that I do, I'm going to try and intend that everything runs silently. And yeah, I don't, want just anyone to get their hands on it. Then people that don't know what they're doing whatsoever, just end up getting everything screwed. And then the program becomes just as worthless as a botnet from 1990. Not that I advocate, unethical use, but also, I can't stop people from doing what they want to do. Yeah, I can only really say don't be unethical, but at the end of the day, I guess I'm very active. Yeah, to answer your question that you asked me, I don't know what, like half an hour ago. Yeah, I think any of them are really fine for beginners. There's not really a beginner expert moderate, level version for botnets. It's sort of just they're all kind of the same. Uh, yeah, I mean, it depends, I guess. There are differences, I guess you wouldn't set them all up to mine Monero. You could, yeah, a lot of them, the built-in functions or the built-in minor functions, strictly do Monero because it's compatibility. Well, I'm glad I've been able to like bestow some wisdom on people. But yeah, I mean it's generally Monero for compatibility because Monero is mined with the CPU, whereas something like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I mean Bitcoin is also mined with CPU, but you are wasting your time, and you are gonna make I don't know maybe like $7 in like 2 months, which what the fuck is the point of that? So that's why it's generally Monero because all computers have a CPU, and even lower end computers mining using half of their CPU to mine Monero is still fairly profitable. I mean, yes, you're not going to get anywhere with 10 computers. You're not going to get anywhere with 20 computers. But once you start getting 100 plus, 200 plus, you start to, I guess, see a bit more of a return. Um, there's a hacking group, I think it's Team TNT, and I don't know, I can't think of which one right now, net or gross, once you take away all your expenses, but that one, once all their expenses are accounted for, they net $6 or $7 billion a year from crypto mining, which I mean, you hear that and you're like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna sit there all day and I'm gonna mine crypto because like if they can do it, why can't I? And I mean, sure, that's exactly what it is. The same can be said about a lot of things. If Donald Trump can become president of the United States of America, then shit, give us 10 years and we'll be able to fly using our farts. But yeah, it does take a little more than just getting a botnet and sending out a couple payloads here and there. These people, they hackers. That's generally a trend with hackers. They don't sleep a lot, so they spend most of their time online. So these people, they wake up and they are putting on campaigns, spreading spam emails, throwing up download links here, there, and the next place. So yeah, their traffic is insane. Another, one of the other features of a botnet that not all of them have are spreading functions. So in Plague, I have written in 3 exploits to use for spreading. Once it hits a computer, it does start to look for others to spread and drop the miner, which then, yeah, your infection rate does become higher. You do end up getting a lot more traffic, a lot more people mining for you, and then it does become a lot more profitable. But then comes in the second issue, and this is one I think a lot of people can't wrap their head around. And yeah, no matter how much I guess like you try and tell them, it's hard for them to understand. So you you get a public server now, right? So that you can set the botnet up, you can spread it, and it's not on your local network. It actually works remotely. Now that's fine for 10 computers. That's fine for 20 computers. That's fine for 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 computers. But that's if you're running a regular botnet. As soon as you're running a minor botnet, the amount of traffic that comes back is way higher because every minute it's basically connecting back and it's connecting to a pool and it's connecting to this, that, and the next thing. And then the server starts to slow down. And then they start to get more and more and more and more and more and more and more infections, which yes, that is exactly the point and the goal of the activity. But because of all of this, um, you start to get 1,000 computers trying to connect back to a single domain. And then essentially all that ends up happening is you DDoS yourself. So I'm sure if you've heard of DDoSing, distributed denial of service, that is when you send way too many packets to somewhere, to a domain, to a network, to whatever it is, and you bring the website down, or you bring the domain down, or you bring someone's network down just for fun, just to be a little bit of a stinker in the afternoon. But so that's essentially what you do to yourself. You end up DOSing yourself, and then you have a panel with 1,000 bots. Then it starts to go down to 900 bots. Then you're thinking, oh, okay, well, it's only a couple. It's not that big a deal. But that's where you'd be wrong. Because then it goes from 900 bots to 800 to 700 until you eventually sitting there with like 4 bots on your panel that are online that have just been lucky enough to slip through the DOSing. That is still constantly happening, right? That's the same thing. I mean, to a VPS, it's still a server, whether it's a web hosting server, a virtual private server, to a VPN, to a proxy. It doesn't matter. You're still having too many connections to a single thing that can't handle it. I mean, think of Amazon. Think of those big companies back in 2015, or 2012 during the whole anonymous thing. They have server farms. These people to run their websites have literally warehouses the size of like Timbuktu with servers just to keep all of their shit running. And too many connections and even their shit goes down. So the problem, and that's the thing, you tell people this and they're like, oh, but I have a VPS. That shouldn't be a problem, but it is. When you hear about these people that are running giant botnets, like malicious botnets, Emotet, what I just gave this dude shit, Emotet, and TrickBot, people that run their malicious botnets for years and years and years, and literally all they do, TrickBot and Emotet were what's called loaders, like Dark Loader. It's basically set up to just be there. It's not supposed to ship with any fancy features. It's not supposed to, start crypto miners. It's not supposed to steal passwords. No, they can't. Its main goal is just literally to sit there. It's like the dude who sits on the corner of the streets, and his only job is to sit there. He doesn't hold any of the crack. He doesn't hold any of the weed. He doesn't hold any of like the illegal fish chickens. He's just literally to sit there and wait for people to come, and when people come and want something, then he takes the order, he goes and gets it, he comes back, and he's just sort of the middleman, and that's what those loaders do. Their job is literally just to be fat, sit there in the corner of the office and wait for someone to need to come in. They're the security guard. Let's call it that. Yeah, they're the security guard. Their job is literally just to sit there, wait for someone to need something, and that's what Emotet and TrickBot did. They sold access. So because of it being very low level, it could get through most antiviruses, most protection and firewalls very, very easily. And then it's easy enough for someone to say, okay, cool, I want 1,000 bots. And that's what people do. On the dark web and on some of the hacking forums, you can find what are called loader services. So they say, I have 30,000 spots available, and for, I don't know, $1 or $2, you can buy a bot. And then you give them these services. They also run through things like Telegram now. They've become quite smart. So basically, you'll get a contact on Telegram, you'll connect to like a bot room, and it will say, okay, you've been allocated, like 10,000 bots because that's what you bought. Then it'll ask you to upload a file, and you can upload your rat payload or your bot payload, and it'll literally send it to these 10,000 computers, it'll execute it, and then now you have a bot, and it'll connect back to your panel. And that's great because a lot of the work is done for you. You don't have to, go out spending hours and hours on spam campaigns. You don't need to hope someone clicks on your shit. It's basically a guaranteed spot. But then they also don't take into account that they have paid, $100 for a VPS. That's the thing. Okay, so for that was my main point before I got on the tangent. So they have infrastructure, and infrastructure is very, very different from a server. Infrastructure is basically what Amazon have. It's what Microsoft has. It's what Red Dead Redemption has. It's what any online game has. It's an infrastructure of servers. So, TrickBot, just because I'm fairly familiar with their whole setup, they have sweet. They have 10 servers from America. Oh fuck! They have 10 servers from America. They have 10 servers in Japan. They have 10 servers in Mississippi, not Mississippi, in like South America. They basically have servers and servers and servers all over the world. So, and that's another thing. If you see in Plague, also in Anubis, the Android botnet, it was another feature that I just want to make sure stuff's right. It was another feature that the panels had, that you could send the connection to a new panel, or you can. It's basically the update function in any bot. So you just update the payload, and it'll send the bot somewhere else. So what you would do is then you have a central sort of connection, which is where everything connects back to the first time. Then from there, you basically send them off to different panels and other servers. So let's say the server in America is the entry point. They'll have 1,000 or so connect back to there, and they have auto run functions as well. So they've basically set up an auto run to say, okay, for the next 100 computers that connect, send them this payload as an auto run payload. For the next 100, send them this payload. Otherwise, they can set them up by country as well. If they connect to us from America, then send them this auto run payload, which then sends them off to now the server they're going to be resting at. So they never have just one server. They have, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, which means, they now need to maintain hundreds and hundreds of servers. They need to have access to them. Otherwise, if you are fairly experienced, you can set up auto tasks. So anytime you need to log into your servers, maybe like once a month, just to make sure everything's working right, everything's connecting right. So everything is basically set up and automated, but it's never just on one server. They would generally, use a very, very strong VPS, 8 cores, 5 terabytes of bandwidth, memory out the asshole as the initial staging server where everything comes back to, and then they basically have the equivalent set up 8 or 9 times across wherever. And that's what you try and tell people, like, you're doing well, you have like so many bots, and yes, it's working the way it's supposed to, but it's not the program's fault when they start to lose traffic. It's not the program's fault when now you log in the next morning and it's literally just all red. It's because you didn't take into account the fact, and let me just say, after you've been told that you're going to DDoS yourself, you are busy DDoSing yourself. And an example of, someone recently, they went on a crusade of trying out a whole bunch of things, which, yes, I understand. You always want to try out everything that's there to see what suits you best, what you prefer, because at the end of the day, that's it. With basically all of them being exactly the same, plus minus a feature here or there, it literally comes down to what looks the best for you. What, when you log onto the panel, are you going to enjoy looking at? What's going to make you feel like, all hackerverse, and as I have no other way to say it. So he basically went on trying 10, 20, 30 different botnets, and he bought traffic. So he would buy the bot executions, and he would have a fuckload, 10,000 bots on. And it just ends up as they dust themselves, and then they try another program to see if it's better with all these 10,000 connections, because you're trying to keep your entire panel and all of your bots, and then it just ends up as more DOSing. And then you remove that panel and you try another one. Keep in mind that this is all on the same server, so now you have 10 or 12 different types of bots all trying to connect back to you, whether they're from the same computer or not. It's still now sending 12 packets per computer per all of these 10,000 things. That's like 120,000 computers trying to connect back to this, pissy little server. Of course it's not going to work. And of course you can keep going through botnets and you can keep trying things, and of course it's still not going to work. And I mean, I guess that's, the biggest thing to try and get across to people, and teach them, show them, whatever. But I guess if you are going for mass control, take over the world type of vibes, then yes, a bot's better than a rat. But rats do, have their use. I think change games. I'm gonna rest and finish my beach house. But yeah, I mean, like, they both have their use and both are very good. And a rat obviously then gives way, way, way more control because it is kind of focused on that singular level of control compared to, it's not written to try and control half of America or half of America plus all of Russia. And shit, yeah, the Russians, they way ahead of the curve. They are just insane with the stuff that they do and write and come out with and just maintain because of their, I guess, laws on hacking, which is as long as you don't hack Russia, then Russia doesn't give a fuck and you can do what you want. So I'd say if you want to be like top class A1 Mr. Robot hacker, then like Russia's the place. But like if you ain't Russian, you're not gonna make it far. Why would anyone with brains download a rat? In terms of what? What way? Like download a rat to use, or download a rat's payload and get infected with it? As a target. I mean, it's the same thing as a bot. A rat's payload is the same as a bot's payload. They're generally just exe files. Um, Otherwise, it's a VBS script or uh, a CMD file or a BAT file or whatever it is. It's all basically the same. There's no difference. It's just for either a bot or a rat, it's the way you deliver it that's sort of important. It's also the way you deliver it that a lot of the time will get it through or not get it through the firewall. Because, yeah, I mean, a common technique is what's called macros, which is basically like a malicious document. Be it a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, so it's basically just embedding code in that, which a lot of regular programs do. Um, no, which a lot of regular programs do. Sometimes you put macros in your documents just so you can get special effects when you're trying to get someone to read it. Effects in terms of what do they call them now? Tables and graphs. So they would need macros in order to. I just need to turn this down 1 second because my brain. No. Anyway. Uh, cool. Back to where I was. Yeah. So macros basically. Once I get Subnautica down, I can hear myself think. Yeah. So they'll they'll embed it into a document using macros. Um, and that is quite easily done. There are plenty of programs that are made for it. You can buy basically silent exploits from people, which, unless it's a really, really good 0 day, um, it's generally just an old tool which you'd be able to find for free in most places. I mean, I have a couple custom ones, but that's not, I guess, the point. So they'll embed stuff with macros, and once you open up the document, they will usually have something in the email or in the document saying, if you can't read this, then please just click enable macros. So basically the email or the documents will format itself properly and you'll be able to read it. And they will be able to find information on the internet that's important to the company, in terms of, let's say, people that they deal with, clients of the company, or big names that generally would look into using that company's type of thing, and they'd say, invoice for, yeah, I mean, it's massive. If I had to tell you what it costs for an Android, oh no, okay. So Apple, they tout their stuff as being, or at least they used to, as being, the unhackable whatever. So, on the market for Android phone exploits, it's about 6 million for a single exploit. If it is new, so basically, if it's a 0 day exploit to get root privileges, and it's new and it's not out there at all, it can fetch you about 6 million. For iOS, for iPhone, they don't accept iPhone exploits anymore because there are just too many of them. There are way too many ways to hack an iPhone that even exploit dealers, big people that sell to governments, won't even accept them because there are just that many. So there's a massive market for it, and I guess one of the biggest markets are governments. Um, you know, Yes, like the NSA, they develop a lot of their tools in house, but often they will buy exploits from third parties. They will, for instance, they bought Pegasus, which was the iPhone hacking software that was developed by Israel to basically just take over your iPhone without you having to do anything. So, I mean, yeah, there's a massive market for it. But there's a lot of ways that you can deliver malware. You can, instead of sending it with macros through documents, though documents are best if you're targeting companies, which are also best if you want a lot of computers, because a company generally, when people go home on the weekend, all of the other computers, the other 200 computers in this office are all stay on, and they stay connected to a network, which means if you get in one, you have an entire weekend of unfettered access to start spreading yourself around these 200 computers, and then you have a whole new network of a bunch more things to mine things. So people like Team TNT that gross their 7 billion a year, uh, they they do that. They target companies, and they one sec. Yeah, so they basically target companies, businesses, get as much traffic as they can, as many people as they can, and then they start to, mine from there, sell access, things like that. Something's busy scrolling to this. Nerve-wracking. I don't even know where I am. Oh fuck. Where did I park off last time? Maybe. Long time no chill. And yeah, sorry. Other ways to deliver it. Hack targeting. Um, so I guess it depends. There are some hackers that basically they target businesses for a reason. You know, let's say for nation states, they're generally targeting telecommunications companies. The North Koreans, for instance, or the Russians, they basically target whoever they want for financial gain. Then, so the North Koreans wrote WannaCry, which was that giant, the giant ransomware issue back in 2015. And that was all for financial gain. So they targeted businesses, not really with too much goal in mind, but it was more for, how much money can we make, because, we're North Korea and we want some money and, dictator and all that crap. And yeah, then there are people who, the ones that do buy bots from Telegram, the reason they're doing it is just so they can get as much traffic as they can, generally because they want to start mining, and they want to, they basically want as much traffic as they can, as many people as they can, without any discrimination, which, I suppose is good in a way, because you don't really have to worry about if the target you specifically wanted clicks on it or not. If you're targeting someone for a specific reason, there's always the issue of, what if no one clicks the link? Or what if no one opens the documents, the email? Then, well, it's useless, and we need to now try again another way, however that ends up being. But yeah, indiscriminate people, they don't have to worry about who it is they're targeting. It could be some old grandmother in, ancient Egypt, or it could be some businessman in Microsoft. It wouldn't really make a difference to them. So, oh, sorry, buddy. So I guess it's just what is the reason you're using the botnet? What goal do you have in mind? What are you trying to achieve? Do you want just as much information? Because there are people then that they either buy access or obtain access themselves through spamming or whatever, and they then steal logs. So that's what a lot of the stealers are used for. They will basically get logs of people's computers. They'll try and steal credentials. They will steal ways to get access. And on the dark web, you find very comprehensive lists. I don't know if it's on the clear web hacking forums. I haven't particularly seen any, but it's basically graphs. Literally graphs and graphs of detailed, color-coded information of, we have, look at this fish, it's like chilling in my face, like what the F balls. So they have access to 50 computers or 300 computers on an enterprise level that are part of this company. They have access to 1,000 computers that are just regular people, and it's because of RDP access, weak RDP credentials that they've managed to brute force, whatever it is, but they have access to this and they're selling it off. So you can buy, and it's also with a lot of the carding as well. So credit card theft, they'll also have basically just lists of information of, you can use this credit card in these 20 states in America, but not these other 30. You can use them, and there's an 80% chance that they're going to work, that they're still, working, whatever, or there's a 30% chance, and if the card is rejected, we'll refund it you and give you another, false credit card that you can go and do whatever with. So it's very, very comprehensive. I mean, if you go to Discam to buy medicine, you can do the exact same thing for hacking or hacking software or programs or just access to somewhere or just people's information. Because remember, in the day and age that we live in, there is nothing more valuable than information. There is nothing that will get you more money. You can sell your weight in gold, or you can sell a hard drive of information, and that hard drive will make you so much more money in the end. There is nothing, information is more than gold. So again, yeah, I guess it just depends what are you using it for? What is your intention? What do you hope to get out of it? Man, these controls are so different from the other games I've been playing. Like, freaking my brain out. Oh, exactly. I mean, yeah, you can do far more than information than you could with anything else. And I think that's just sort of a testament to things these days. Why would you go out and try and like, okay, well, not you, but let's say for instance 10 years ago, the worst thing for you would be to someone running up to you in the streets or breaking into your house, to try and steal your TV, or you've gone on holiday and these people have been like watching the neighborhood and they've seen you go on holiday. They know you're gone. They know no one's in the house. They are now gonna jump your wall, your gate, or whatever. They're gonna break in, whatever underhand way they can, and steal all your shit. And you're gonna come home and there's gonna be like nothing in your house, and you're gonna feel like fuck. I've been taken advantage of. That doesn't happen these days. Because why would it have to? That is so much effort and so much more work than what is necessary. That also runs the risk of people can see me, I can get arrested, I can get identified, I can go to jail. These days it's just, I'm going to sit in my house or, my parents' basement, who's to judge, and I am going to send out emails. And from those emails, I'm going to get access to people's information, which I can do whatever I want with. I can then get access to their email accounts. I can get access to their phones. I can, steal money straight out your bank accounts. I can, sell your credit card information to any Tom, Dick, and Harry that wants to buy credit card information. I can, another really horrible thing that has become a trend since, the internet, and I guess the way everything works has become a lot more prevalent. Think of child abduction. And I know it's such an arbitrary thing to say when I'm talking about hacking or just the concept in general, but back in the day, it was you need to watch like your baby in a supermarket. You don't want to turn your back for too long while your baby's in the chair and fuck. Someone then runs off with your child, so they can, for trafficking purposes, not for any other thing. Because so for trafficking purposes, they run off with your child from a supermarket, and then people are looking on cameras and trying to clear everything out so they can catch this person. No, and I mean you see it a lot in movies, and people use it as a concept in movies because it's sort of an entertaining plot and it's what sells. Whereas you see hackers hack the baby monitors, and I think it was a CSI episode, and they are watching through the baby monitor and sending the feed off to people so they can basically make bids for this child. And then when they've solved this child, they're going to then break into the house, when they know everyone's asleep because they can see the cameras. And on smart home these days, smart homes, you can have your fridge hacked. You can have your smart fridge hacked. So yeah, they're going to hack your cameras. They are then going to, for this example, sell your child. And they don't even have to really lift a finger up until it's time to do it. So it's incredibly easy these days for people to be taken advantage of, and because everything is online, everything is either on your phone or your laptop. If everything's not on your phone, you can fucking be sure it's on. Not on your laptop. You can be fucking be sure it's on your phone. Your phone has access to your bank account for mobile banking. Your phone has all your contacts. Your phone gets all your one-time authentication passwords. Exactly, it's disgusting. Your phone gets all of your one-time authentication passwords to get into anything. So now, let's say, for example, someone has something behind me and I can hear it and it's not cool. And then they have access to all of your stuff. And there are certain rats, a few botnets as well that are interchangeable, that have dual compatibility, so that work on both Android and Windows. And some of them have some very, very, very interesting functions. A self-spreading, well, one of note, has a self-spreading function that, let's say, for example, you've opened up a spam email on your laptop and you've gotten infected through this macro. Obviously, that macro technique won't work when you want to infect an Android because it doesn't run, Microsoft Office the same way. And the payloads are different. An Android takes an APK file, the Android package file, whereas a Windows computer takes an exe. But this botnet, however it was done, if it infected a Windows computer, it could self-spread itself onto your router, and then from your router, it could self-spread itself onto an Android without the user having to even install the file. So now, I have control of your computer, which maybe doesn't have, access to everything. But then I also now have access to your phone. And I can get your one-time passwords for your bank account. I can get your one-time passwords for your trading accounts. If I'm in your computer, I can get your Bitcoin wallet. I can look through your webcam, and I'm sure you've heard of the sextortion scams, where basically people have found a dump because some company was hacked and they had the database stolen, and that was eventually released for free on the dark web on a hacking forum, and now people have your password. So they set up a spam campaign saying, I have access to your shit, which majority of the time they don't, but that's not to say they can't, if your passwords are all the same. But they send you one of your passwords, whether you've changed it recently or not. It makes no difference because it's a password you use, and you're going to freak out. Oh shit, people might actually have access to my stuff. Then they ask you for bitcoins, otherwise they're going to release a bunch of pictures and images that they've taken of you, and to all of your contacts, because they have your contacts because essentially they're in your email or whatever, and they've sent this email from your own email address. So you're getting an email from, let's say, for example, your email is emily@mirandacosgrove.com. You're getting an email from emily@mirandacosgrove.com saying, I have your email, I have your passwords, look, I'm sending this from your email. So obviously you're going to believe them. And don't get me wrong, it's extremely easy to spoof email. You can basically make an email look like it's coming from whoever you want, whenever you want, with an odd tweak here or there. And there are, yes, ways to detect that and see that. But if you have no idea about that, if you have no idea any of that stuff is possible or how to do it, then, the average person is, yes, going to get tricked. And not everyone, sadly has access to information to learn what to do, how to do it. This wasn't here before. I didn't put this up. They updated it. Oh, please tell me they updated it. And so I mean, hackers, it all kind of boils down to 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you knew when the war was coming. You knew it was World War II because there are planes flying overhead and there are sounds of bombs and war and people are being shot and shot at, and you're being recruited to go to war, to fight for your country, to do what's right, to try and protect the freedoms. But, World War III, and I don't want to sound like a conspiracy nut after all of this and kill my credibility, but I fully believe World War III is coming, And the problem is we're not even going to know that it's coming when it's here, or even that it's happening up until it's too late. Because World War III isn't going to be fought with bombs. It's not going to be fought with people. It's not going to be publicized on television. People, oh no, fuck, that shadow just gave me a fright. And it's orange shadow. Yo, I haven't played this game in too long. Yeah, I mean, it's literally just gonna happen. People, and the fake news thing is the biggest problem of all, because with all the fake news that's being spread, and because of all the news being watered down to essentially just puppy stories and puff pieces, and people are just, they don't like to concern themselves with things when they seem to become too intense. They don't like to admit things are going wrong. They don't like to see the bad side. They always just, let's just pretend it's not happening, or let's just look at the good instead of focusing on the bad. But by doing that, by focusing on the puffy pieces, by not letting yourself decide what's real and what's fake, and by half of the news being driven by Facebook and all of its bullshit, and like the whole Mark Zuckerberg umbrella of cuck. People don't see it, and then before you know it, the 20 hackers sitting in Russia's basement are busy sending code to the 20 hackers in America's basement, who are at the same time sending code to the 40 people in South Korea and China's basements. It's essentially just going to be a bunch of people in a bunch of rooms that are going to end up blowing the world up. Because and Stuxnet, if you know that, if you don't, it was basically the virus that had infected an, I guess, Israeli or one of the Arab nuclear stations. I think the movie Hackers was about it, with the Thor dude. So they basically had infected one of the nuclear stations and had the ability to blow it up. And that was an advancement, that was something that was never seen before. That was like, what? Why is that like moving? Check it out. Like one of a kind, brand new, like never seen before, never gonna, never could have been thought of because of its destructiveness, because of its sole purpose being control this nuclear power plant, blow it up if we need to or want to. Basically, let's just say want to, because when would you ever need to blow up a nuclear plant after Chernobyl, after that whole fucking accident? What am I saying? After that whole incident. It's the ability to cause real life harm instead of just shut down people's computers and their systems, and turn the. And that's another thing. They could basically, with a flick of a button, America, Russia, Israel, and just about every other hacking power out there has the ability to shut off the world's electricity. All of them have it. All of them know the others haven't. What can they really do about it? So they have the ability to shut down the power to the world, and then what's going to happen? It's going to be a travesty, a train smash, because then there's going to be no power for anyone, and it's going to be caveman times. It's going to go from everything is so convenient. Let's watch PewDiePie online. Be PewDiePie. There's not going to be an online. There's not going to be internet. There's not going to be cars and electricity and the ability to take back all of this shit that we do so nonchalantly, I guess. But hey, I mean, people are going to continue to do it, and my, I guess, argument towards it is, don't do what your government wouldn't do. And in the grander scheme of things, it's not, don't do what I wouldn't do, because, who the fuck am I? I'm just like some random person on the internet. It's not don't do what Will Smith wouldn't do, because, just because he's an actor and, fucking Will Smith is great, and it's sad he was cuckolded by his wife, but regardless, you know, he's also just a fucking person. Whether he's a celebrity or not, it doesn't give what he has to say more clout. But, you know, your government, the people that are there to supposedly protect you, to enforce the law, to enforce your rights, you know, the ones who came up with the law, the ones who are supposed to enforce the law, don't do what they would do. And if you think about it, what wouldn't your government do? Because I know what my government wouldn't do, and that list is so small. Basically, the only things that are on that list are enforce the law and look out for the people. So, you know, don't obviously be as big a dick as the government, because fuck, no one deserves to be exploited the way that the governments of the world exploit their people. But there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can, you know, change about it. But you can basically put your foot down and say, I'm not going to be exploited, because at the end of the day, those are your two options. Exploit or be exploited. And I know which one I will be, and it's certainly not be exploited, I'll tell you that. You know, I've been kicked while I've been down far too many times that I refuse to be kicked again. I refuse to go down again, and if I do, God forbid, you best know I'm gonna go down fucking kicking. And screaming and scratching and culling and just, you know, I'm gonna be throwing Molotovs in the outback, not the outback, the Wild West. And no one's gonna stop me until they stop me, and best understand that you're gonna get stopped in the process. So yeah, I mean, don't be a malicious hacker, but like, do what you gotta do, man. You all gotta survive somehow, man. And that's the key to it all, is just survival. It's controls. I fuck it up. Of course I fuck it up. No, yeah. One day the world will become like a place where we can hopefully say, you know, I can actually be proud of everyone, of all of my fellow man. But, you know, at this point, I can't say that. But yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to help and spread as much info as I actually can. You know, people always give me like a fair bit of shit on YouTube of why don't I post links. Well, one, because if I have to post a link, they're gonna strike my content, and then, you know, I already have a strike from stuff that I did not feel deserved a strike, because it's not like, again, I don't spread links on YouTube. You know, if you want something, you can go to Discord and get me there. But yeah, videos, yes. For the moment, for the rest of the week, I'm going to be making them here. I will probably still do the demos and stuff on Black Rabbit, just to try and keep the content separate-ish, that I don't have both my channels taken down. It's always good to have a backup. So I will probably, because I'm dead in my mind, so I'm probably gonna go in a bit. But yeah, I'll definitely make more videos here. I will do more malware analysis here, so I guess taking apart malware, looking at things inside of it, looking how to identify it, ways to, I guess, things to look for when trying to defend against it. And then I will do the streaming here as well. So I guess just when I have nothing else to do and just want to kick back and play some games. I'll do the streaming here and I'll do more, I guess, questions and answers and stuff like that here. And then keep the demo videos and showcases on Black Rabbit. Just to, again, keep them kind of separate, that if YouTube does strike down Black Rabbit, I still have some backup and then I don't have to restart from scratch. But I think here for the week is probably going to be fairly often, just this week, and then from next week it will go back to kind of regular, and then it will be here maybe twice or 3 times a week. But I'll schedule that, and I'll drop some things in Discord, so at least if you do wanna come and watch me just do stupid shit on the internet, get some info, some advice. If you need some help, I will probably more than likely answer it in these sessions, just because it's easier to talk. And often, if I'm on Discord, it's just in the background, and I'm doing a lot of other things. I'm taking care of my market, and it's generally just for, I guess, customer flow to there. But yeah, I'll definitely put down in the Discord when I'm going to be here. And yeah, you're always welcome to come by, listen to me talk shit. Maybe once or twice I will go through just looking at some other videos, some other informatory things, be it on viruses, being it on new malware, be it on just, I guess, random shit. Not that I believe in ghosts, but I love watching ghost videos. They entertain the shit out of me, especially like Arab ghost hunters. So yeah, I mean, I'll always probably do some random shit, and during that, I'm always happy to, educate. And yeah, because I mean, I'm self-taught. I started, I always say like a year and a half, but it's probably 2.5 years now. And I started just watching videos on YouTube and sort of teaching myself. And 2 years ago, oh fuck, freaked me out. 2 years ago on YouTube, there weren't all like the restrictions that they are now. Oh god, there aren't all the restrictions that they are now. So it was way easier to find content. It was way easier to find hacking stuff. It was way easier to find, a demonstration on how to use the NSA's SMB exploits, and where to find exploits, and you'd be able to find links with generally most of the videos, which it's impossible to do now, because as soon as there's a link to malware, you just get taken down, and then you have wannabe malware analysis people that are then spreading your information on the internet, posting pictures of you, being like, oh, this is a malware author, and like doxing you and shit, which I think is bullshit. Which is also, I guess, why I want to kind of keep things separately. If I'm making demo videos on Black Rabbit and answering, I guess, more hacking questions here, then I'm going to be less likely to have, people trying to connect me with hacking here. So yeah, shit. I completely forgot what my point of this entire tangent was. But yeah, I'll definitely be making videos on both channels and doing like streaming and questionnaire things. But yeah, I mean, you don't need you don't need like a fancy programming degree. You don't need to go to college to be a programmer. I'm not going to say hacker, but to be a programmer. I went to college for business, completely unrelated, and halfway through my final year, I wasn't like a very technical person. I could stream free movies and get free music, and I knew how to type out an essay for whatever class I had. I was not technical in any sense of the word, but 2.5 years later, I now earn my own penetration testing company. So I do fully licensed and legitimate ethical hacking as my day job, minus the side malware development, which I very much enjoy. But yeah, so it's not, and again, I mean, people say it's super hard, and you look at it, and yes, it can be difficult. It can be if you don't know what you're looking for, which is also why I say you don't need, to go to college for it, but it does help if you take, say a course on Udemy or something like that, just like an introductory course, so you know sort of what things to look for. Um, I don't know if you saw on the Black Rabbit channel, like a while ago, I did a CTF walkthrough, so I captured the flag on GoldenEye, and that would sort of be a real life scenario. You need to know what to look at when you're doing stuff like this. If you get into a system, you can't just get yourself into another system. You need to look for hints along the way. You need to look for things that you can use to be able to leverage to get that access. So yeah, you can learn it all yourself. You find information, and again, this isn't school. Yeah, it's exactly like Hack the Box. So Hack the Box is a CTF platform, but Hack the Box is subscription only, as far as I know. And at the time, I didn't really want to. Okay, it's not that I didn't want to, but I was like a 19-year-old kid. I wasn't, going to pay for a Hack the Box subscription. So there is another website called Hub, and they have a bunch of Hack the Box things for free. So you can basically download the virtual machine, go through it, and you find a lot of walkthroughs for stuff like this. Mine was obviously a walkthrough for GoldenEye, and I've done a good couple others that I'm happy to, I guess, eventually do walkthroughs for. And I can do live streams of the walkthroughs if that's something that would, I guess, interest you. You could see it firsthand going through. But yeah, I mean, during CTFs and stuff like that, then yeah, look, a school, even in high school, you don't do programming. Up to grade 12 or 12th year or whatever it is, wherever you are. Um, essentially all computer class is to teach you how to use Word and type assignments and get your formats in the documents properly and shit. And that's absolutely has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. It's only once you start to go to college, you start to really look into programming and stuff like that. But also, again, I mean, there's no information that you could be taught in college for anything in the world, be it business, be it aeronautical things, be it trading. There is nothing that you could be taught by someone else in a college that you have to pay for, that you could not learn for free somewhere on the internet. And I mean, I come from a country, it's a third world country. Our currency is shit compared to the dollar. So, when it comes to getting things, especially in dollars, it's a lot. And it's a lot for kids, who don't come from a super privileged background, who have mommy and daddy to buy everything for them and do whatever they want. You don't always want to pay for things. And I guess a I wouldn't know what to call it, a personality trait, I guess, that I stand for, and my position in life is I don't believe in paying for things that I don't have to. Obviously, yes, there are some things you have to pay for that you just can't get around. You have to pay for food, you can't get around that. Uh, and but let's say for series or music, I won't pay for Netflix because I can stream everything for free. I won't pay for Spotify because I can stream everything or download it for free. Um, when it comes to people that I really like and enjoy, music artists, I support them. I will go and I will buy their music. If it's game developers, I will go out, I'll buy their games, I'll spend the money on it because you know what, I really enjoy this shit. I enjoy what they make, I enjoy what they do, and I want them to succeed because if they succeed, I get more, whatever it is, content, I get whatever it is that comes along with that. So and again for things like viruses, I won't, I guess, pay for malware from someone else if I can make it myself. And 50 to 60% of the time I can do that. 60% of the time I can make whatever it is I want by myself from scratch. Other 40% of the time, maybe I need, sort of the building blocks from someone, or it's something I can't do. It's something I have no idea about. It's like a 0-day exploit. I've had no prior, exposure to this. I don't know how to do it. I would never be able to do it. So that turns out to be something I need to buy or purchase or whatever it is. But then in a case like that, with people selling rats and botnets on the dark web, or even in just clear web, you're buying subscriptions. You're paying for it once a month, which I guess is the way of all businesses. Adobe, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, whatever it is, you pay subscriptions, and I guess that it's fair in a way, but the prices you get charged for these subscriptions is just fucking ridiculous. I mean, what's it for Adobe, the Adobe Suite? It's like $10,000 or something a year. Like, what the fuck? Then you're getting you know you need to pay for a rack from someone, which is it's hardly different from anyone else's, except maybe they just written as well that it hides better, and you're paying like $100 a month. I think that is fucking bullshit. I think whoever's trying to sell you something for $100 a month should find a very blunt stick out the back of their garden and shove it so far up their ass that they can taste their own shit. Um, that's, I guess, why the things that I do have for sale, it's one time. I mean, I know it's not the cheapest, but for the things that I do sell, the prices are what they are because I believe that it's worth it. For Plague, it's hidden from most antiviruses. For Sphinx, it works on the most recent Android, and it has you know after boot assistance. So if you turn the phone off and turn it back on, it's going to reconnect without the person having to then go open up the application that they can't even see because the icon's hidden. So it properly works, and it's you pay for it once. It's not yours. If I do have like major updates, then it's, I guess, a slight fee. Well, a tenth of the price maybe, so like $10 for the update. Instead of then needing to pay $100 every single month for something that doesn't change every single month, then it's hardly worth it. People pay for Netflix subscriptions because there's always new content. Why should you pay for a program if there's nothing new about it? So yeah, that's what I believe. If you have to buy something, then you should buy it. It should be yours. You shouldn't be able to have it taken away from you. You shouldn't be able to have it, your access to it stopped. It should be yours. If you don't get things that are new, unless you upgrade a little bit, sure. I mean, shit. Sometimes that's just the way of the world. We all gotta live. We all gotta survive. But fuck, we don't need to exploit other people or get exploited ourselves. That's bullshit. No one is worth less than anyone else. I don't give a fuck whether your granddaddy invented the railroad. You are you have no more worth than someone whose mother is a crackhead and whose father left them for a pack of cigarettes. Shit, the situations are different, but you don't mean more than any other person. So you don't get to take advantage of someone. You don't get to stand on their backs because you like to see over the wall. Fuck that. If I can't see over the wall, you shouldn't be able to see over the wall. If I can see over the wall, then you should too. And I'm happy to help you see over the wall, but I'm not going to let you stand on my head to do it. So yeah, I say fuck you to being taken advantage of, and I say fuck you to anyone who tries to take advantage. Do what you gotta do. My thing is being a grey hat. I got into ethical hacking because I wanted to help people, and that's why I'm a penetration tester, and that's why I'm an ethical hacker. If someone has problems, I'm here to help you, you know. And the people that I do things I shouldn't, people that I do things I shouldn't do, they deserve it. And I stand by that fact, you know. If you have a child labor camp, then you are going to be targeted by me. If you are taking advantage of your workers, if you are taking advantage of the people around you, you're probably going to end up as a target from me. If you are, you know, Mark Zuckerberg type level, you're going to fucking get taken advantage of me 7 times over, and then I'm going to sell you to like Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile colony. But yeah, so I'm a believer of what goes around comes around, you know, karma and all that shit. So don't do to someone else something that you wouldn't want done to you. But, you know, if you're doing something to someone that deserves it, then fuck, they deserve it. There's no consequences that in my eyes should or would come back against you. If you take advantage of people who have no money and you're ransoming them, then yeah, karma's going to come back and she's going to spit in your face. But if you are ransoming companies that are literally cutting themselves bonuses and then not paying their employees, well, shit, you're a Robin Hood and you should get a naughty badge. But yeah, fun. That I guess is my rant done for the for the evening. While I run around all pointlessly in Subnautica, just like I need the update. And they don't have the update yet. It's so sad. But yeah, I mean, essentially, you can get or do just about anything for free, you know, within limits. You obviously can't get into an amusement park for free because no one has an amusement park, but you can, yeah. Don't let people take advantage of you, I guess, is my main point, and why I started all this, because it's a way for, and like I'm no saint, you know, in my life, up until the point where I decided to help people, was not on a path of helping people. Let me be like, you know, 100% transparent there. I was definitely in the category of shithead, and you know, a couple other choice words that I'm not going to say right now. But, you know, eventually I just figured the reason I am how I am is because I was bitter, and because I was angry at everything, at the world, at the way people are treated, at, at the way I was treated, at the fact of, you know what, we're all going to be treated like shit, what is the point? Because what can you ever really do about it, you know? People get taken advantage of all the time, and, you know, at best they're just like, oh, well, fuck. So sorry. At worst, they're like, oh, no, that actually didn't happen. You're a fucking liar. Fuck you. But, you know, I guess I figured this was a way that I could do something about it. It's a way that I could at least, if not, you know, help all of the disenfranchised and all of the ones that are suffering. I can at least help those around me, and, you know, give whoever will listen to my crazy ass just, you know, some reality checking, as in this world is not sunshine and rainbows. It's never going to be easy. You're never going to get, you know, out of here unscathed, but you certainly can do it with a lot less damage than you would have. And yes, a lot of things are hopeless and difficult and, you know, seem like you're never going to win, but that's not true. It's just, you know, you got to find the points of pressure and apply it until they crumble. And if they have been putting pressure on you, then they deserve it. And you shouldn't feel bad. Fuck them. don't know if I get in here if they're gonna eat me. They don't look so like chuffed. But yeah, look, I think I'm gonna kick it for tonight. But yeah, look, I hope you found some entertainment being here. I hope that you found some useful information being here. I hope that I'll see you again. And yeah, I mean, just I guess keep that with you. Don't let people fuck with you, and there is always something you can do about it. Whether other people are willing to help you is another story, but you don't really need help. If it's that important to you, at least there is always a way to do it. It sucks, yeah, when you have to do it on your own, but at the end of it, fuck, no one else can take credit for it at least. And you know you're going to come out on the other end far better for it. And shit, with failure, yeah, it's one of the biggest cliches and something I hate saying, but every time we fail, all we do is learn. And you know, you'll get to a point eventually where you feel like shit, what the fuck is the point? But the point is exactly that, fuck them. If they're gonna fuck you, then they should get fucked right back. But yeah, check out or at least keep an eye in the Discord. I will drop down stuff there when I'm putting out new videos, if I'm gonna do a stream. Otherwise, yeah, always just chilling around Discord most of the time. I mean, being an ethical hacker, 80% of my job is sitting around and waiting for things to finish, waiting for scans to finish, or processes. And I do have a lot of time to just play games and talk shit and chill. So yeah, yeah. But thanks for keeping me company. Thanks for listening to my bullshit. It's always nice when I get to talk to other people and not just sit talking to myself for 4 hours. I don't feel crazy at all. But yeah, I mean, don't be jealous, because if I did it and I'm like a half-bred monkey moron, then you can definitely do it too. It's just putting in the work, and that's the thing. It's a lot of work, but hacking is something that I don't see as work. I find it fun. I'm one of those people, if you told me not to do it, I'm gonna go do it. So when people say, you can't break into a computer, it's like, let me show you how I'm gonna break into this computer. Let me show you how you're wrong. But I guess I'm just a small bit of a dick in that way. But yeah. I'll catch you next time, and let me save before I leave this. I'll catch you next time, and keep on keeping on.